lady. I've got to.
I have mine.
By the way, I've just ordered. I've just ordered 10 more, a dozen more of these.
Got t-shirts yet?
No, I need to get the t-shirts. That's another thing. Oh, one of the this is the. Are you? This is the poster for the Basis Talks.
Oh, okay.
So the first one's on the 5th of March. It was going to be the 5th of February, but I mean that's next week, less than a week away. In fact, it's slightly more than a week away. And I also have to see if this is good. Everything's fine. Okay.
I can't wait till I'm able to come to one.
You have?
I can't wait till I'm able to come to one of the events, like after I get back.
Well, I've only got things programmed up to June, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at June, that'll be Matthew Williams has spent a hell of a lot of time with Bob Osborne.
Oh, okay.
And he's recorded so much material. It's unbelievable. So it's like 90 hours of stuff it's going to take to download into a computer. He's got drone footage and everything else. So anyway, that's down at Zenner, where you were.
Yes, it was lovely. It was such a great experience.
And he's discovered a few things that went on down there.
Really?
Where they were programming children and things in a cathedral. And the chalk, the white wall where they showed the film of how they were programming it was quite serious. But let's not. You've got such a wonderful smile, and it's really great. So we don't need to talk about that. But it was somewhere that we were at the, and I've got me winter woolies on here with the heavy. This is my Norwegian thing.
Very nice, very cozy.
Yes. So, what do you want to cover in this update? Because you've got a heck of a lot to say and do. So take it away.
Okay, so it's quite interesting. So, like I mentioned to you, since I got back, I was have been talking to my mother a lot, and kind of trying to encourage her because she's had a lot of experiences, and she definitely has more memories and more in-depth memories and more clear memories of abductions and past lives and things like that. And we do believe like some of them are government because they're very negative. And I think a lot of things kind of stem from her experiences. So I'm kind of trying to encourage her to like write a book or do like a interview with someone or something like that because her experiences are very in-depth and clear. But after the video that we did, me and my mother were talking a lot about like her experiences and the past and things like that. And it kind of just came to me like I don't feel like I forgot this memory, but I feel like I kind of just I don't know. In the last call that we did, I was saying that all of my experiences have been astral and purposeful and all of this. And then we kind of tapped back into my childhood where I would go somewhere most night. I would say most nights. I'm not fully aware, but I would always be coming back in the morning and saying like, I've been here, I've been to this place. And I think my father believed that it was just like, you know, a child's imagination. But with my mother having her own experiences, she did believe that I was being abducted, but she didn't really fully talk openly to me about her experiences until I was like 22, 23, something like that. So she kept a bit quiet about that and didn't really like delve into it very much. So the experiences I had, so I share a bedroom with the twin that I mentioned. So when we were talking last time, I was saying about how my mother was pregnant with one child, and then I was like placed there, like from Lyra, I believe. So then there was twins. but one is human and one coming through from Lyra, which was me. And we share a room, and we'd look outside the window, and there would be these like orbs, and they would be pink, blue, and like a whitish, maybe yellowish kind of colour. And at the time, as a child, I thought that they were fairies for some reason. Like, I really wanted to catch one. I was trying to, like, put my hand out the window and catch one, thinking they were, like, fairies. I don't know why. And she was there with me, and she was experiencing this experience. But after these experiences and seeing these orbs, I would go somewhere in the night. But in the morning, I would say, like, oh, should we look for those? I would never call them orbs back then, but I would say, like, should we look for those lights again, or should we look for those fairies again? And she would say, like, what do you mean? And even though she was there with me when it happened, it was like she had no recollection of it. And so I thought it was really strange that it felt like that was really happening to me, but she didn't have recollection of it. But I think the main reason why I never considered these experiences abduction is because I don't ever remember going on a ship, and I also don't remember being scared. So I'll talk a bit about the experiences, and I would be interested to know if anybody has had similar experiences, seen similar types of beings, or can make kind of sense of why it would feel quite positive to me. So I think that's why I never related it to abduction, because it always felt like I wanted to go there and it felt positive. But what would happen was I would see these beings, and to me, so I loved bears when I was a child. I mean, I was maybe around 5 or 6 at this time, and I always had like this panda teddy. And so I think I related the beings to being bear-like because of that. Now I'm kind of thinking like they were probably lying, but I would always refer to them as like bear beings. But there would be these buildings, so I'd always see the buildings. Sometimes they'd be like really grand, like towers, or like really grand entrances, but it was always really dark, and it was always very desolate around them. But sometimes they would be like these very low, like cylindrical, like metal, like, I don't know, structures, and they would have like no windows, and it would just be metal, and it would be almost just peeking through the top of like a really rocky like landscape, which is what made me think, like, is this bases? Are these like underground bases? But some of them did seem, like I said, like tall buildings, so I'm not 100% on that. But that's why I never really related it to abduction, because I don't remember traveling there. I remember being in my bedroom, I remember seeing the beings, and I remember being in these locations. But what would happen in the buildings would be, there would be the bear, what I call bear-like beings. Then there would be tall humanoid type of beings that I would probably say Nordic, because that's a lot of what my mother experienced. But sometimes how people depict like Lemurian beings, it kind of reminds me of that sometimes. Like if I see someone who's like describing or showing a like example image of Lemurian beings, it makes me like remember that. So I'm not, again, like these are all things that
What
I'm
would
like,
what would a Lemurian? Are you talking about? You are Lemuria. Are we this pronunciation? I mean, are they like human or
you know,
what?
like the it's like the lost civilization. I believe that there's a lot
Yes,
of kind
yeah.
of like Mount
You've got
Shasta.
Atlantis and Lemuria, and all that. Yeah, Hyperborea and God places. Yeah.
Yes, but that's what I kind of feel like, Nordic or Lemuria, maybe both, I'm not sure. But this is why I'm probably like the main reason why I wanted to say it, because I hope, I would like to think that other people who've had experiences will watch and maybe relate, or know something about it, because I just find it interesting how, like, my mother thought I was being abducted, but obviously she just didn't say anything, because she's always been very, like, kind of
What period of time would this have been? In the 80s?
80s. I was born in 92.
You're born